kind of like train derailings, and it's kind of like, oh, I don't know, the Nordstrom pipeline. And I say Nordstrom, because it's like the store. And that's the country you live in. That's just it. But you know why, Christie, it's like that. Tell them why. Where did this all go back to? Perhaps, I think it was sometime in November, maybe in 2020, right? That's what, well, actually, where this all came from. Well, I mean, it was further back, but that was the shift. That was the shift.
Well, I think the shift actually happened a long time ago. It really kicked up under Clinton and the Bush and then Obama. Trump was the anomaly, right? He was really, truly, honestly, a great disruptor in some of the plans. And now you're just seeing Biden being utilized as a puppet, as we all know, to do know 100%. I can tell you that there is massive corruption with not just the Sinaloa cartel. There's other cartels that, by the way, cartels are nothing but international trans criminal organizations. These cartels have businesses, and a lot of these businesses are legit. There's a lot of front businesses. There's a lot of investigation, a lot of tactics that can go behind to follow and peel back the layers to discover who actually owns businesses, homes, etc. Ironically, when I was listening to one of the things that they did point out, which I don't know if what they're saying is true or not, because I need to do my own personal due diligence and follow if it's factual or not, because that's what good journalists do, or individuals who are in the field, before they say, yes, this is 100% facts. But I can talk to what I do know, and what I do know is facts. Particularly like this tunnel down in Yuma, Arizona. It starts in a warehouse over in Mexico, which I didn't break that last time. So it's in a warehouse, and it comes over. It's a pretty sophisticated long tunnel, over 4 football fields long. Wrap your head around how big this really is. And it takes a left-hand turn, and it comes up inside what? A single family home that is purchased and owned by a little old lady who actually, the house was bought by the cartels. They will own this home. And so there's a lot of truth to what she was saying on the floor yesterday. And it's a lot of the ways that the cartels use to not only have influence, but also do money laundering. As far as politicians, again, Michele, we are using the full extent of all of my resources, including forensics and cyber forensics, to dig in and get our teeth into a couple organizations that are actively working, that we do believe are on the take. And if we prove this, when we do prove it, we will come on your show, Michele, and give the information, but we will do it the right way. We are going to be working hand in hand with law enforcement to turn over this information, the good ones. We know who the good ones are from the bad guys. And that is one of my questions. If they have all of this bombshell information and the and the proof that they can actually prove all of this, I would highly recommend Thayer to come out and turn over all of this evidence to the several states' attorneys, the attorneys' offices, federal agencies, and blow it out of the water.
I guess the question is, who are the good guys? Or is it just, you just send it to everybody and let them, you ferret out the good from the bad, especially, or even the ones that you definitely know are bad, you don't send it to them. Or maybe you do and just say here. And that, because I would like to see he had said, or she said yesterday, that in a couple of days, or did she say that? Okay. All I know is in a couple of days, they're supposed to have the information on a website. In there. Okay.
Absolutely.
So set up the stage for the tunnel video.
So this particular tunnel is in Yuma. It's on a highly trafficked area where Border Patrol comes in and out. There's a lot of sophisticated equipment in this particular area. We have sensors, we have camera systems. There's a lot of things that are in this particular area. We call it one of the areas near the choke. And this tunnel was just discovered there supposedly a little bit over a year ago, by the way. And it was because they were doing some work along the border, and no one's ever heard about this. I even talked to some of the state representatives, and I because I deal with a lot of them, and they were like, Christy, we haven't heard about this. And I'm like, well, this is in your own state. There's a red flag right there. Why? Who's covering up what? This tunnel has fortified walls, fortified ceilings. It has a fiber optic system in it, electricity, water. It has a rail system in it, ventilation systems, and just the mere size of it is incredible. And like I said, we have other tunnels throughout Arizona, Texas, Mexico. I mean, California, New Mexico. It's not new, but how big and how sophisticated this tunnel is.
And then, is there any proof to confirm which cartels are using it, or is it just kind of a pathway for everybody to transport the drugs, the people, and whatever else they're transporting?
Well, I mean, cartels have control over different sectors typically, unless there's some kind of turf war going on. So this particular sector would be the Sinaloa cartel.
Sounds familiar. I believe that was mentioned yesterday. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
People, this is why I wanted to have her on today, because I thought, let's make some, maybe some connections, some verifications. Again, Christie's been doing this for 2 years. She's been on, I've lost track of how many times she's been on the show, and the talk radio show. So Heather, play the video. It's about 4 minutes or so.
Hey everybody, Christie Hutcherson with Women Fighting for America here on the front lines and in the fight for you every day. We're out here filming a documentary, and so we're at one of the border walls. I'm going to turn it around in just a second, but I want to kind of give you a I'm going to flip this camera around. So this area right here, that area right there where you see the little, it looks like a container. You've got the wall there. Underneath here is a highly sophisticated tunnel. This tunnel is the largest tunnel they've ever found. And it was a very sophisticated tunnel. And so we've got individuals from different government agencies out here right now. Currently, that's what all these vehicles are. Okay. So just stay right here, as long as I'm right here.
Stuff like that, they're fine. They're actually going to be leaving for lunch.
Okay.
So they're all going to be departing and stuff like that. But I told Jill that we're not going to, no cars, no cameras, no photographs and stuff like that. But we just need to keep them back a little bit further so that they're not coming all the way up to it.
Can we let them know not to go any further than that? They're wanting us to keep our distance for security purposes, national security implications. So, so this, I mean, I don't want to get the vehicles or the license plates for security purposes, but just going to film right there to show you guys. And then over here in this facility, that right there, of course, that's an antenna. But again, you'll see another type of structure similar to what you just saw right there. Here is the border wall. This border wall is our wall. And then there's a small wall that you see on the other side. That's Mexico's wall. And why is this significant? I want you to look right there. You see the Border Patrol car right there. So this tunnel went into Mexico straight underneath them, basically in your face, underneath here, and then kept going. I'm not going to get into any more details. Watch the documentary that's coming out in April with His Glory. We're going to have all of this information. This is national security implications on a mass scale. We'll bring this to you. So, and you see that neighborhood right there? That is a residential neighborhood. That tunnel went further through that residential neighborhood. And again, I'm not going to tell you any further details. You'll have to watch the documentary, but this is really cool stuff because you get to hear it first. The documentary will be out in April. His Glory and Women Fighting for America working together to bring you truth, working with local law enforcement officers. We're very blessed to be able to ride along with some of Yuma's finest. Right there's a group of them. That's the team. So I'm very blessed. Pastor Dave right there. He's talking about this as well. I'm so blessed to be able to be in coordination with him and collaboration with him on this project. This is national security implications of what they just found here in Yuma, Arizona. This highly sophisticated tunnel system that was dug by the cartels 25 feet underneath the ground, right under the noses of Border Patrol. This gate right here that you're seeing, that gate opens up. This is a highly trafficked area by Border Patrol, DPS, law enforcement every single day.
So what do you want to comment on that?
The reason why I decided, by the way, I was going to keep it for the documentary, but thinking about the implications of this tunnel and then looking at how, after I've interviewed some individuals who are in Yuma, there is a cover up trying to go on. They are keeping this really hush hush. There's very few individuals within the law enforcement community there who will actively admit that they know that that tunnel exists. The rest of them will say, we haven't heard of this, or they'll divert, right? And you're going to see that in the interview that I just conducted with this gentleman and one of the deputies there. And so I felt like we really needed to, the American people, we the people, had the right to know that there is a tunnel system. And by the way, Michelle, and I think I spoke to you about this back in December, 3.5 hours from that location, we were on a private rancher's property and we were filming and doing some more filming. And another tunnel system, the same type of equipment that they had in Yuma, and Border Patrol was blocking the road and the path from us being able to get down there, but we could film. The length of this tunnel and how deep it was, the amount of earth that had to be removed from this location. You could not know that this tunnel is being built, even on the Mexican side. Yes, it comes up in a warehouse and it's a great cover because they can remove that dirt and back in the big trucks needed, the dump trucks, to fill it up and try to bring it out under the disguise of that. But the vibrations and the things that had in the concrete that was involved, in the rail system that was involved, we actually have sensors. And we have sensors, we have camera systems, we have certain things in this sector from a security perspective, right, to know who's coming over the wall, if they try to dig under the wall. So you know, look, and the individuals that I work with, they have incredible skill sets. These guys are some of the elitists of the elitists, next level. Kennedy International Security Logistics and Services, one of the best in the world, actually, from an international scale. They also understand the mining industry. And so when we looked at this and broke this down, and I talked to some U.S. Marshals and some police chiefs and some other individuals who are willing to talk with me and I work with, and we've all come up with the same conclusion. There's no way our government did not know that this tunnel existed. I believe, that the individuals who are there, who have been there, were sent by Washington, D.C., by this administration, some scientists, several scientists, and 3-letter agencies. And concern is this, and the first thing people want to go to is human trafficking and drugs coming through that tunnel. But I'm going to kind of go a step further, and this is a serious matter. And same thing with what they allude to. When you have politicians who are on the take, we already know that we have Border Patrol and law enforcement who take bribes from the cartel. These are good people sometimes, but they're scared to death that the cartel will take out their families, right? They'll murder their families. So they take bribes in the tune of $15,000 to $20,000 in cash a month in supplemental income, right? On the border towns. We know this for a fact. I've been there, I've seen it for 2 years.
So let's do this, Christy. We got to go to the break. So we're going to. So I want to hold that thought, because now we're gonna. You might not need to pull up your big boy and big girl pants, because we're gonna talk about some stuff that you probably don't want to hear about. But I'll just give you a hint: 90,000 of them go missing a month, and nobody wants to ever talk about it. We'll be right back after the break.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, CEO of MyPillow. Retailers, shopping channels, and now even banks have tried to cancel myself and MyPillow. During these times, your support has meant everything to us. My employees and I want to personally thank each and every one of you by passing the savings directly on to you. For example, you can get my Giza Dream bed sheets for as low as $39.99 a set. That's a savings of 60% and the lowest price in history. And remember, they're made with the world's best cotton, grown where the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River all meet. They come with my 10-year warranty, and I guarantee they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own. So go to mypillow.com now and use the promo code on your screen, or call the 1-800 number below to get my Giza Dream bed sheets for as low as $39.99, the lowest price in history. If
your optimal health and well-being. 100% customer satisfaction guarantee on all purchases. You deserve the best. BrighteonStore.com. Support this amazing platform and amazing patriots for humanity.
Use promo code HOME at checkout for additional savings.
True is what we are, to the stars and the stripes, in one nation under God, where the bald eagle flies, in memory of our founding fathers, where we stand in solidarity, wearing freedom proud, believing we will endure in our most beloved nation. The home of the brave, the land of the free, is where we shall be. The flag shirt, where freedom reigns.
All right, so you saw those awesome commercials. I encourage you to get some of these incredible products. We have a whole marketplace that we set up. But first, I must say, I just got last weekend, I got the new MyPillow 2.0, right? And, I know I've said this on the show for a very long time. I have horrible sleep for like 30 years, right? I don't sleep. I swear to God. So I'm not doing it to schlep some products or things like that. The things that I found here, most of these companies are patriotic companies. They have patriotic products. People that work there are patriotic, and they are small business owners. So the goal is to get everybody to where they can, because some things you don't have a choice, because these demons own like everything. transition over. Remember trans, it's all about trans. So you're going to transition over, maybe take a little bit more time, but make sure you're supporting products and services from companies and individuals who don't hate you, who aren't trying to cancel you, because the next step of all this, of where this is all headed, is going to be 100 times worse. So if we could cut a couple of them off at the knees and disable them, because again, I always give the example of Bank of America. 1 out of 2 people bank with Bank of America. Bank of America is an evil company. Close your bank accounts. They go out of business overnight. And then you think, oh, everything would collapse. It's going to collapse anyway. But at least you can get rid of them before they turn everything over to the central banking digital system or things like that. So yeah, I mean, again, I know that we have to use Amazon sometimes, but go to the marketplace. It's the website's there, but it's much easier if you go to the savemyfreedom.us. We want everybody going there, and it's on a tab. So marketplace, go check that out. There's some amazing products, and you know what I mean. They're coming after us, not only from a spiritual sense, but from a health sense, right? So most of the people that watch this show did not take the non-COVID, non-vaccine bioweapon. So we're good there. But these people shut on you. Like if you listen to Silk was on her show yesterday, and she had Dr. Brian Artis, who's great. We have his products on there because he's been on the show a couple times. Health products, by the way. She was saying how Diamond didn't take the bioweapon. She didn't. And she was having blood clots. And she believes it's because people were literally shedding on her. I mean, I'm not now. And I just ordered the new version. So it should be interesting to see what that is. And then, of course, you got the Mammoth Nation. That's all small businesses, all Patriot only. So that one's another good one. And that's where I got the cross. Remember, I got the cross there. And the discount that I got, because you do the membership, and it's for life, I saved more than what the membership cost for the cross. So I made money. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Go take that time and go in there and check those out. And there was, I think was there another one? Oh, My Patriot Supply. Okay. You need to get some food if you can afford it. If not, go get a bunch of beans or whatever that you need at the grocery store, because that stuff's coming. It's probably, I don't want to say right around the corner, but it could be. It could be. And it's not just coming from me. A lot of people are saying that. So get prepared. We're going to get you prepared with your soul. We're doing that with the Jesus Rocks and the other stuff we've got through the Save My Freedom movement. But you got to take a little initiative there and get your supplies and stuff. All right. So I think I covered everything. I needed to cover it all. All right. So Christy, do you continue with your cliffhanger there?
It might be important to run that little film of what she said yesterday. And again, I'm not advocating for what she said because I can't verify it, and I don't say yes or no if it's true. I can only tell you what I know. And what I know is that there is corruption. I know that the Sinaloa have front organizations. I've been in some of those front businesses. I do know that they do pay off judges and other politicians prior to them, typically before they get into office. And there's some other ways that we can do this. But the tunnels are a very, very powerful tool that our federal government working alongside of the cartels. And if you don't believe that our government isn't capable of working with these trans criminal organizations, 2 things: look at Fast and Furious, number 1, and then in the 80s, look at the CIA controlling the cartels. And they even have, unfortunately, in my opinion and many other law enforcement's opinion, helped to facilitate even bringing down and the murder of some of our own agents.
These to keep the border wide open. I mean, the numbers of illegal aliens, have come across the border. They've gone down. Well, that's because they're legalizing it and giving them citizenship prior to coming over. And then they have an app, like there's an app on your phone where you can put it in, and it's only, and then so you put it in, and then you wait, and then you can come over. But then when you come, they take you, give you money, give you food stamps, give you phones, give you all kinds of great stuff, clean you up, and then they put you on planes again, and they ship you off to all parts of the country because they don't want the photo op like they had under the bridge. So the numbers aren't true, everybody. So it's literally, it's wide open. But do this before we play that one section. Most people are thinking the people that are coming across are like from Guatemala or from Mexico or from Spanish speaking countries. Fill them in for the ones who have not seen you on this show or other shows before about what's really coming across.
Well, we have over 165 plus different nations who have actually influxed the border. And the new policy, we just were down in Yuma. We saw military guys from Russia, Ukraine, China, in full military. These guys are 240, 55 pounds, full military guys. They weren't accountants back in Russia, I can tell you that. We have photographs, Michelle, of nefarious terrorists coming over, full AKs, ARs, weapons coming in our borders. We've got the film footage to prove so. And if you go to any of our social media or on my website, you can actually scroll through and see some of this footage and information. The gentleman that he was talking about, so Biden he started a policy a couple months back. And by the way, Title 42 is getting ready to go away again, which is not a good thing. But there's a huge staging ground. They're going to disappear exactly the same way. By the way, they're already given phones and credit cards and all that stuff over in Mexico, even before they get here. And then the corrupt NGOs and some of these processing facilities who are making millions and millions and millions of dollars in taxpayer-funded dollars a year, almost one agency alone over $1 billion last year alone, Catholic Charities. And so they are all corrupt, and they are helping to facilitate this invasion into the United States of America. Northern border, nobody's talking about the northern border. Michelle, I'm getting ready to head up there again. I've been talking about the northern border for over a year and a half. Just this week alone in one sector in the northern New York area, over 113 illegals crossed over. They're having to get airplane tickets and fly one way into Canada, and then they're trying to sneak across the northern border as well.
Great. Right. And if you can't have a country if you don't have borders. So she mentioned NGOs. So put this put this feather in your cap, people. Be careful where you spend your money, right? We talked about that, but careful where you donate your money. So as I keep saying every episode, if you're going to donate money to anything, a PAC, a politician, an NGO, a nonprofit, you better do so much homework on them that you're ready to marry them. Other than that, keep your money in your pocket. These groups don't need it right now because look, and a lot of these guys are getting money from the government, just like the churches that they were so eager to shut down because they got all that COVID money. Then they basically were following instructions. So look where we are now. All right, so let's roll the video. We've got enough time to do that. So Heather, you're going to roll the corruption video. I believe it is number 2, video number 2. This is
officers participating in this force are compensated. Cell phone hacking, and by using related surveillance techniques without warrant. Officers also plant evidence and hide exculpatory evidence. Multiple state agency databases have been infiltrated or hacked, thus allowing falsified documents to be uploaded into them and allowing legitimate documents to be removed. For example, the database for the University of Arizona, Arizona State, and Northern Arizona have been infiltrated and hacked. It permits individuals to be given degrees who never attended or graduated from these schools and allows phantom individuals to be awarded degrees, thus lending legitimacy to their existence. Further, state licensing databases have been infiltrated and hacked to permit individuals with fake degrees to permit phantom individuals to have state licenses issued. And these licenses, like accounting, real estate, mental health care, even law licenses, we have seen phantom attorneys registered with the state bar. The Maricopa County database for the Recorder's Office and for the Superior Court were designed in 2014. They were set up for outside infiltration so that falsified documents could be uploaded or legitimate documents removed. Since 2015, hundreds upon hundreds of falsified court documents have been loaded into the database. For elections within Pima County and Maricopa County have been manipulated through the infiltration of the county databases, resulting from bribes paid to executives at election service providers, including, but not limited to, principals at Runback Election Services. In addition to impacting local elections, bribes and infiltration were used to affect the outcome of the races during the November 3rd, 2020 election, including the outcome of the race for Maricopa County Recorder and the outcome of the November 8th, 2022 election, race for Governor, Secretary of State, and Attorney General. Public officials who have received bribes include multi-state office holders, State House and State Senate, local office holders, county supervisors, judges in the Maricopa Supreme Court, judges of some city courts, including 2 presiding judges, judges' assistants, prosecutors within certain cities within Maricopa County, prosecutors for Maricopa County, peripheral legal specialists, including attorneys, approved mental health care providers, as in court-appointed advisors and related specialists. In the Superior Court of Maricopa County and Pinal County and Pima County, at least 25% of the active judges had accepted bribes in exchange for protecting the racketeering activities. Bribe payments generally begin before the individual is even appointed to the bench. Bribes are usually paid as an incentive for the attorney to leave their private practice. By way of example, Mesa City Prosecutor's Office routinely files charges and convicts innocent individuals who knowingly or unwittingly pose a threat to the racketeering enterprise. With respect to judges in the Mesa City Court, Judge Tatz, Judge Alicia Lawler preside over these invented cases filed by the city prosecutor, falsely convicting and sentencing the defendant. In the Maricopa County Superior Court Family Division, child custody evaluators, commonly known as court-appointed advisors, routinely accept bribes in exchange for favorable reports. Bribes are often facilitated by attorneys representing one party.
Now, before she comments on that, have Heather play video number 3. It's only 45 seconds.
In addition to state representatives, there are (2018 to 22), a significant number of questionable real estate transactions were facilitated by several law firms, including partners at Perkins Coie. Mr. Thaler would be here himself presenting this information, but there have been multiple attempts on his life. Thaler was...
Okay, and now graphic number 13. All right, so she gave a lot of information. So that stuff, like you said, it has to be verified. The information needs to come out. But the information, as I mentioned in the beginning of the show, and this is important for everybody to understand what happened with the elections. We've already done the digging. The documents that we have of the receipts are their own receipts. So there is not, we don't have to use any of the stuff she's doing to prove that the election, and then 13 to what shows the marathon. So this is the Rumble channel. You guys have to follow me on Rumble. You have to subscribe and encourage other people to do it. So we're going to run that marathon that tells you all the information, right? Scott Jarrett and Maricopa County committed a felony because they took away the audit process from the election board, which is the election workers, the night of, so that you never know what the real number of the count is, which is inside the machines. Okay. So that's fact. That's fact. It's a class 6 felony in the state of Arizona to do that because it goes against the ARS statute and it goes against the EPM. And this only happened in Maricopa County. There's so much more, but that is We knew that because the courts are corrupt and nobody wants to touch elections because they don't want to change the outcomes. Remember, the entire election system is fundamentally designed to control the outcomes. So if the people that are running it are nefarious and they have bad intentions, and the people that got quote unquote elected or selected, obviously the legislators for the past 2 years have done nothing here in Arizona. Nothing has changed. Now, does it kind of make sense why things might have not changed? Because if you were listening yesterday, even if you don't believe it, you're kind of putting the pieces together and you're like, you know what? It kind of does make sense. You're going to trip them up on the policies and procedures. I said, there's going to be something in there because these demons get so emboldened and they get careless. And Jarrett's one of those type of people where he gets off on actually pulling something like this off because it's the way that he writes. If you read through these documents, like the exhibits that are in the shows that we've done, I'm going to put them all in a file so you can read them yourself. The way that he writes, the policies and procedures and the changes that they make, they technically legalize the fraud, but they always screw up. There was a script. That's the beauty of it. That's where God has that little hand in there. Or I should say big hand, and he makes sure that things are gonna be okay. So I'm running the marathon. I did it today. It's episode 459. I'm gonna run it all weekend. I'm going to run this thing. I'm going to run it all weekend. I'm going to probably run it up for next week. So if you see that it's been on for like 60 hours, now you know why, but you got to share that. And then we're going to launch that one-click email all campaign with Christine from Act for America. And you're going to put pressure on all these elected elitists because there's no reason why literally somebody doesn't go arrest this guy right now. There he is. See, look at that face. Look at that smug face. That's why I picked that photo. That's this guy. He's a demon. Because again, if Arizona doesn't get set aside or decertified and we get a new election, the whole country's over. That's it. Because this just didn't happen in Arizona. This happened all over the country. There was a red tsunami, right? Remember, they stole your sacred rights to choose your elected, your representatives. But as what they were saying in the hearing yesterday, what she was describing wasn't just Arizona. It's in 20 different states. I think it's in more. But Christy, now comment on that based on what you know. We got 3 minutes left.
Well, I mean, corruption, cartels, trans criminal organizations, they have their hand and their thumbprint in all 50 states, quite frankly, and not just in the United States. What I would highly recommend that Thayer and I think her name was Jacqueline, right? Mm-hmm. I would tell her to do this immediately. You want to have the credibility. You show up. There are systems in place to do this. Sheriff Mark Daniels and Sheriff Lamb are very good guys. Take your information. If you have the proof on all of these accounts, take it to the sheriff. Turn in all of the proof to the sheriffs. First and foremost, racketeering and all this, there's a RICO Act. Yes, it's on a federal level. We know that our federal agencies, unfortunately, are corrupt. But if you take it and there's a crime that was committed by these judges or by these different politicians, and you can prove it, and you have the information to prove this, then those sheriffs can now investigate and open up an internal investigation on all of this, and it will come out.
We're getting close on the time. Christy, give your website. It's been on all for the whole show, but this is for the podcast audience because they can't see, they can only hear.
So I would love for everybody to go to our website. You can just search Women Fighting for America, or WFFA.WIN. That's WIN. Michelle, I'm out here on location. I've been doing some recce work. Recce is just a really fancy short word for recon. And we're following how the cartels with the MS-13 gang, because MS-13 is just an arm of the cartels, and how they're impacting your communities and your schoolyard. So it's called Operation Schoolyard. And if you want to help fund us being able to save your children from the cartels, from the trafficking, from the drug trafficking and other nefarious activities, please help us fund this particular fight, Operation Schoolyard. We're out here in the field. It's very dangerous work. They're armed. to recruit them, to bring them into the fold, and then recruit others and sell your children's body parts for the sex trade industry.
Yeah, that's all real, people. That's all real. So Christie is one of our partners, and she's a long-time friend. So I'm adding her website on our list, on our Substack. There's another section that I'm going to start, and then I'm also going to link that when we do this one-click email campaign. All of our partners' websites will be on there, so that way we can all start supporting each other. And you know who the good people are. Again, we're just motivating the masses to get off their asses, and we're doing all the heavy lifting so that you guys don't have to do, like, you should see the stupid stuff I do all day just to find out, like, all right, is this something useful? Is this going to change someone's life? Are these good people? Yeah, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of work. So I don't want you to have to reinvent the wheel, and I don't want you to have to do any of this stuff alone, because we have such a great guests that have come on the show, partners and people that we work with in the community, especially people that are precinct committeemen and other groups and organizations and hosts from shows and all that kind of great stuff. So these are all people that you could be supporting, not to mention networking with. And again, if you go to savemyfreedom.us, savemyfreedom.us, that is where I want you to join. You subscribe to the Substack. We're loading it up with information, all the resources. Again, it's turned into a website, and it's going to link to about 6 other different websites. So use that as your start for your day when you want to go figure out, oh, what do I need for this? Again, support like-minded people. And one thing I'm going to let you go with, oh, you got to watch the episode 459, right? It's on the Rumble right now, and it's about 2.5 hours because I put 2 episodes and a bunch of other fun people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways. Wicked ways. You heard that yesterday. I will hear from heaven. I will forgive their sins and restore their land. We're kind of end times, people. So my advice to you, watch the Jesus Rock shows. Go back and watch them. They're all in the process of getting transcribed. That'll be all that information's over on Substack, and watch the marathons that I've done for that. I'm going to put a special order together for them. Literally get on your knees and pray because it works. I'm finally listening to Lucy at the next level. I can tell you it's making a huge difference. So join us, savemyfreedom.us. Have a great weekend.